Pam Bondi is a nasty piece of work. If you've been following the House Judiciary Committee's hearing with her over the Epstein files, you have seen and heard her nastiness toward Democratic representatives and her refusal to apologize to survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse. All in all, pretty despicable, hard to watch, hard to hear. And if you're one of those who has often thought that, well, if only the women were in charge, everything would be a lot better. But when you get somebody like Bondi and others, that really puts lie to that claim because um, there is such a thing as internalized patriarchy, internalized misogyny, internalized sexism. And so it's very possible for women, especially those who really want to be part of the patriarchal power structure, they're going to behave like the patriarchal power structure. And we have to recognize that and not give them a pass because they're women and understand what they're doing and that it is patriarchy that they're holding up with their ways of leading. So we can continue to watch her, but frankly, hearing from the survivors of Epstein is a lot more encouraging, uplifting, really, to see how women, the resilience of women who have suffered terribly, have come through it and have, for the most part, gained some, um, I can't even say satisfaction because they haven't received justice yet, but they've come to terms with their suffering in their lives, and it's commendable. Not that we dismiss it or think that it's all over because it's not, especially because of people like Pam Bondi and others in the Justice Department who refuse to give them justice. But it's good to see them as strong women. We might think of them as being weak because of what happened to them. They probably saw themselves as weak and not understanding how they were victimized completely, because that's what happens with victims of abuse that we blame ourselves. I must have done something. I didn't know. I all of the reasons. But we've got to get away from that mindset and put the responsibility where it belongs, and that's on the abusers and those who support the abuser, like really Bondi and others who are um, continuing to protect perpetrators. So keep watching them, understand what's going on. This is about power, not about gender, although it's about gender in the sense that women often are the targets of patriarchy. Not always, and men are too, but keep an eye on them and understand what's going on and keep on working to dismantle these oppressive hierarchical power structures like patriarchy and racism and ableism and all the other isms and archies that we have in our society. We continue to work against them for the good of all people, but especially the marginalized, the suffering, the vulnerable. Did you notice that Pam Bondi sitting there in the room, hearing room with her cross on? There she is. So she's got her cross on. So she's sitting there as a representative, really, a follower of Jesus, saying right up front that she's a Christian, she's a follower of Jesus. But I'm going back to that saying from Scripture, by their fruits you will know them. And the fruits of this person, not just in this hearing today, but in all of her actions, show us. I'm not one for saying that somebody's not a Christian. I've been told that to myself too many times, so I don't like to do that. But I think it's okay to question where, how do you see yourself, Ms. Bondi? How do you see yourself as a Christian? And how do you justify how you're behaving and talking and acting and leading as a follower of Jesus? Those are valid questions. I'm sure she wouldn't answer them, or she'd make some sort of rude, snide comment, but I think we have to keep asking ourselves and keep judging our leaders on whether they are true to the values that they claim to have. So this follower of Jesus would like to question Ms. Bondi. I know I won't get that opportunity, but I hope we can all think about it as we watch her continue to treat the survivors of abuse very terribly. So keep on watching. Watch what they do, not necessarily what they say. Okay, bye for now.